have this now, breaking news. Egyptian authorities are now at this hour arguing with each other as they try to discredit a key theory regarding exactly what happened to Egypt Air Flight 804. They have found lots of debris, but Egypt's head of forensic, after looking at the debris, is shutting down any discussion of an explosion having taken place on board the plane before it crashed. This is in direct contradiction to an earlier report made by one of the country's senior forensic investigators. Egypt's forensic medical department posting this statement on its Facebook page stating, quote, "Everything published about this matter is completely false and mere assumptions that it did not come from the forensics authorities." So there appears to be some real verbal war here going on at the moment. We'll keep you posted. We have more breaking news in just the last few minutes on Capitol Hill. Take a look at live pictures of the intense talk on Capitol Hill. As you see, the cameras are now focusing at the moment. This is the House Foreign Affairs Subcommittee, and it's investigating, in essence, to what degree Saudi Arabia has been cooperating in U.S. counterterror measures, and perhaps more importantly, what role, if any, the Saudi Arabian kingdom may have played in financing the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Former 9/11 Commissioner Tim Romer is at the hearing. He's going to serve as a witness. We're watching it closely. But this, as some lawmakers call for the declassification, and you've heard about this because we've talked about it, the 28-page report from the 9/11 Commission's report that some believe tie the Saudi government to the attacks. This also comes on the heels of the U.S. Senate approving a bill that would expose the House of Saud to legal claims from family members of those who lost loved ones on 9/11. But the Saudis have been an important trading partner for the U.S., doing more than $41 billion in trade in 2015 alone, including, of course, crude oil movements. We have two former State Department officials, Peter Brookes and Larry Korb, joining us now to talk about whether the U.S. lawsuits against the Saudi kingdom could potentially hurt U.S. foreign policy interests, trade, and I think more importantly, gentlemen, any kind of relationship that we've had over the years. To you first, Larry, and by the way, both of you gentlemen very proudly served in the Navy, so you know from what you speak. Larry, when you look at what's been going on, we could be at sort of the crux of a rift with a very big ally, could we not, with Saudi Arabia?
Well, there's no doubt about it, and this is not the first time. We have had problems with them ever since 9/11, because basically they didn't want us to get rid of Saddam Hussein because he's a Sunni, and they wanted a Sunni to run Iraq. They were concerned about Iran. In Syria, they're more concerned with getting Assad than going after ISIS. The good news is, since we're much more energy independent, we're not as beholden to the Saudis as we used to be.
Does it look, Peter, to you like we are taking away the bridge between our two nations almost brick by brick and using some of those bricks to forge a bridge with Iran, which is, needless to say, a big enemy of Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, well, first, I think we need to see what this report says. You know, very few people have seen this. I mean, we may learn a little bit more from this hearing that's going on the Hill right now, but we want to see what that says. But, yeah, the relationship between the United States and Saudi Arabia is important. Larry pointed out some very important facts about it, and especially the energy issue. But they are a leader. They are the leading and most powerful country in the Middle East. And if the United States wants to have influence in that part of the world, it's hopefully going to have a positive relationship with Saudi Arabia. But that relationship has had its share of problems, as we all know. I don't think the United States is going to build a bridge to Iran, because I don't think Iran wants to build a bridge to the United States. We've seen in the aftermath of this nuclear deal some of the things that the Iranians have said, and they're trying to take what they can. They've gotten the money, et cetera, but I don't think that the current leadership is interested in reaching out to us.
And Larry, we need to just point out something that was happening at this hour yesterday, and that was that the Iraqi military was going to advance and try and take back Fallujah. They have succeeded at this hour, and this is what we're hearing. They have succeeded in taking back parts of the ISIS-held city. Some villages have finally gone back to Iraqi military right now. Do you believe they're going to take back Fallujah?
Oh, I think they will, and I think it's important psychologically because it undermines the ISIS narrative that they're the future caliphate of the region. It's also important because Fallujah is only 30 miles from Baghdad, and from what we know, a lot of the car bombs and stuff that went off in Baghdad over the last couple of days were actually came from Fallujah. So I think it is important. I think they will take it back. But it's not just taking it back. The question is now who's going to run it?
Right.
Is it going to be Sunni, Shias? How are they going to divide up power? And I think that's the key issue.
The age-old problems. Gentlemen, we've got breaking market news. Our thanks for you for coming on this very busy day. Peter, Larry, lovely to have you.